Jakub Drzazga.
Okay, hello guys. Today I will tell you about a few things about the product owner, about patterns, anti-patterns, and actually the areas that are, let's say, fundamental for a product owner development. So treat it as an opportunity to, let's say, gain some new knowledge, find some new ideas, and actually some reflection. So if it appears that you might think that, hey, this guy is absolutely stupid, this guy is telling something really strange, so yeah, let's agree to disagree, it's good. So we can have a discussion about it. So maybe just after my presentation, there is not much time for it. And also maybe I will try to give you some solutions, few tools that you can use just after this lecture, and treat this whole lecture as a buffet. So you can pick all dishes you like, every kind of food, but it's your decision. So I will not force you to, let's say, think about do anything. So this is a product owner. So I will tell you that the product owner is the most important person in the whole Scrum team and also in the whole organization. So what do you think? What happens when the product owner sucks? Any ideas, guys? The product sucks. Yeah. So that's that's actually everything that is important. So we will have something that is useless. We will spend a lot of energy, a lot of money, a lot of time, and actually we will have a product that sucks. This is terrible. So okay, guys. So that would be result of a bad captain and the bad product owner. And what is worth to mention right now that the product owner that sucks usually is focused on output, not outcome. So maybe you start thinking, but okay, but what's the difference? So the output is more connected with the features, more connected with requirements, more connected with what product is. And the outcome is more connected with the product, what value product brings. So, for example, if the customer is happy after using it, if user can do something important. So, for example, if I want to buy a ticket, so from my perspective, it does not matter what features are inside the ticket machine. From my perspective, it is important how much time will I spend there. So I'm focused on outcomes because I'm a user. Okay? So that's important. Huh? Okay, I don't need a ticket. Oh yeah, that's true. I have a car. Yeah. So thank you for this insight. I totally agree with you. It was just an example. Okay, guys. Another thing that is important here is to distinguish the differences between project and a product. So the product owner that sucks is usually focused on scope, cost, and time. And it's not bad to be focused on it, but it is bad if we forget about the final result. So the project is like a treasure map. It's good to have a good treasure map. It's obvious, but what is the most important is to have a treasure. So the good product owner always thinks about the outcomes of the final product, not the, let's say, way to get it. So it is not so important if we will fulfill all the scope, etc. It is more important what value it provides. And now I will tell you about few anti-patterns of product owners. So our Nobel prizes, the Olga Tokarczuk, once said that the archetype is not something that happened in the past. It is something that is happening all the time. So I'm finding these kind of anti-patterns maybe even too often in organization I work with. So first of all, it is so-called clerk. This is also so-called yes man. So this person is just receiving orders, receiving requests from stakeholders, from business, and actually is just putting them to the backlog without some discussion, without some insights, etc. So this person is focused not on some vision, because this person usually do not know what vision is. Okay, so that's something we should remember. And another thing is, another anti-pattern is, okay, This is archetype. It happens. It will happen again. So the story writer is a person who is spending all the time, all time for writing user stories. And you know, writing user stories is not something bad. But if you're doing only this and forget about, you know, vision, strategy, etc., and you do it in, I don't know, the pixel perfect way that there is no space for developer to interpret it anyway. So actually this is not a very good. So there is a lot of potential that we lost because of it. Okay, cool. So let's move on. The another is the another anti-pattern is what's so-called HR manager. So this person loves the team, is really taking care of needs of the team, and so far it sounds really good. But actually this is yeah, a little bit. So let's say HR manager is Scrum Master who overdose love for a team. Let's call this person in this way. So, you know, it is nothing bad to love the team, but if you, for example, decide about the future product goals only to make team happy, so this is something wrong. So one of my customers decide, this year they will create the new version of this application on iOS for iPhones. So why? Teams want to learn iOS. So from my perspective, this is not the best product owner in the world. Of course, this is my perspective. So next one, it's so-called project manager. So I already told you about the product, about the project before. So this kind of person is more connected with resources utilization, with being on time, with being on schedule, etc., and of course in a budget, but forgets about the goal, about the outcome. Okay? Okay, let's move on. Another one is very interesting. It's so-called subject matter expert. So it sounds really good at the beginning. So this is extremely extremely good expert in using this application, has a very deep skills. Probably this is the best user, the most skilled user in the world. But this person forgets that the application is not for him or her. So this person usually creates product to, let's say, from vanity perspective. So I think it's a great challenge. I will do it. Maybe not many people really need it and even understand it, but my focus is on my needs and my vision, not the vision of stakeholders or users. And the last but not least anti-pattern is called the gatekeeper. This person is actually a gatekeeper between developers and stakeholders. If developers do not know something, okay, I will understand what are your needs, developers, and then I will go to stakeholders and explain them what we need from them, and I will get back. So this person prohibits any direct contact. So I think it's a great waste. On the other hand, if there are stakeholders who can just show their needs, tell about their needs, they are also stopped. So this is some, let's say, like a cell phone. This person is like a cell phone, let's say this way. Okay, guys. Now let's be a little bit positive. So let's move on and let's think about what actually we can do to develop the skills of a product owner. So there are 6 stances, 6 patterns, positive patterns, archetypes of being a good product owner. But what is really important, you can treat it as 6 pillars of being a good product owner. If you forget about any of them, then you are in trouble actually, okay? So first one, it's so-called the visionary. The visionary is focused on the future, on the vision, on the strategy, and the strategy that actually is really emotional for people. These people will go after this leader because this leader is let's say really strongly connected with the vision. And what is important, this person also has some tools. So maybe I will just give you some small seed. I do not have much time to discuss about everything. So I will just tell you guys, this kind of person can use Lean Canvas. Lean Canvas is extremely simple tool to create the product strategy. Okay? If you have a product owner that has a goal to have more and more velocity each sprint, and you are a Scrum Master, maybe you can do lean canvas together with this kind of product owner. Of course, if you are this kind of product owner, it's even even better for you to use it. And guys, also, I encourage you to use evidence-based management. This is a framework to create short-term, let's say, tactical goals and long-term goals, and actually help you to do it in measurable way. And actually, it helps you to touch the most important areas that should be, let's say, measured, okay? So it gives you a lot of transparency about what is important for you as a product owner. So what is your value today? What is the potential market, etc., etc. So not much time, guys, so I will not go deeper. So another one is so-called collaborator. If you want to be a greater product owner, you should really focus on the collaboration, the relationship with the whole Scrum team. You should not only be, let's say, nice to them. You should encourage them to do a lot of things. You should sell them some ideas. You should ask them for feedback. You should, for example, if you are using user story, you should do it together with them, find the solutions together. And also, you should be a great collaborator in order to stakeholders. You should also encourage them to involve in creating product vision and the future value. And also, what is important, you should be an expert with, with collaboration with the corporation governance. Okay? It's evil, but it's necessary evil. You can't forget about it. So you should be a master in it. Okay? And also, you should know how to write good contracts. Let's say agile contracts if it's suit for you. And the next one, it's called customer representative. So at the end, what is the most important? It's the value the product provides. And the customer representative is actually focusing on delivering as much value as possible and understands needs and expectations of users, customers, etc. So actually knows what are the main problems of users. And for example, this person also understands that, that the value is not only connected with functional stuff. It's not only about performance, about quality, but also it is really connected with emotions. So for example, I used to have an iPhone a few years ago. Guys, I still miss it. I really miss it. So because its value, it's much higher than only on functional level. So actually, maybe not for me, I will not tell you that, but for some people it's an object of cult. So this is the final level of value you can provide to your users, and you should remember about it. And also, you should use, for example, impact mapping in order to remember that your outputs should be results of outcomes you would like to achieve. So you start with outcomes you want, and then you forecast or you plan the deliverables, the features that you will need in the future. The next one is called decision maker. So good product owner is powerful product owner. So it is really important to have a power inside the organization, empowerment. So you should spend your energy in order to be, okay, maybe it sounds strange, but more and more important person in the organization, have more power. If you are really high in this level of maturity of being decision maker, you decide about new markets, you decide about product strategy, selling strategy, monetization, also about the budget. And if you are this kind of a product owner, you can do a lot of things. Remember about it. So you should spend some time in order to, let's say, work about your empowerment. And next one, so guys, it's my favorite one. It's experimenter. This person, excuse me? Exactly. So this person treat everything as a hypothesis and actually find ways, experiments to make it to say it's true or false. This kind of hypothesis. So this is a person who actually really know what empiricism is and use it really, really often. So this person, for example, might use a thing so-called MVP. So MVP, this is the simplest way to check if some hypothesis is true or false. So for example, you can do a prototype of an application on paper. You can ask people about it. You can do some A/B testing, etc., etc. You do a lot of experiments. You don't trust yourself. You trust only facts. Okay? That's important here. Next one, it's so-called influencer. It's not about being bold, of course. It's more, okay, it was a joke. It's more connected with being a diplomat. So you know, it's not only about being good and creating value. You also should be, let's say, person who actually know how to speak with people and know who is the right stakeholder to talk with. So, for example, you know how to talk with your director in order to increase your budget. For example, you know how to talk with some YouTuber, for example, in order to commerce your product, etc. So it is really important to remember about it that you should also develop in this area. So, guys, from my perspective, that's all. But maybe, just maybe, you have any questions.